online? Is Krishna Archana online? Do you have any way to find out? Find out, because at some point I want her to speak something. And if she's not on, she can make herself available.
She was doing temple service. She was attending the Aarti.
When will that be over?
It should be over. Yeah, 6:30.
6:30. Okay. See what you can do to have her available when it comes time to speak something. Let's say 15, 20 minutes. When it comes to initiations, there's some standard verses that immediately come to mind. So I'll speak them. Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasadi Bhai Bhakti Lata Bij. It's a verse found in Chaitanya Charitamrita, where it is said that the Jeev, the living entity, is wandering and wandering and wandering, sojourning through different species of life, higher and lower. And in the course of that otherwise endless cycle of repeated birth and death, there's some good fortune, or prasada, mercy of Krishna and Guru that may come into one's life. And that mercy that is from Krishna and being delivered by disciplic succession through his Krishna's representatives, one gets the opportunity to engage in devotional service. We hear, particularly because I've been speaking about the Brahma's prayers, it's one of so many places where emphasis is placed on the singular importance and benefit of devotional service as a means of reaching the goal of life. And those who deliver that process or the opportunity for devotional service, they're one's best well-wishers, or say it the other way. One cannot be a better well-wisher to another than by bringing a life of devotion to Krishna into their life. So when we receive something, one of the themes of this weekend is gratitude. Of course, gratitude during difficult times is the main thing, but gratitude is a feeling that one feels, or an acknowledgement that one has received something very special. A favor is commonly how it's interpreted. When one has received a favor from another, then gratitude is something one feels, and gratitude is something that one does, one expresses one's gratitude. So the bhakti process is a great fortune for the living entity to have it extended, and then it may take some time for that process to be embraced and taken up nicely. I remember hearing one lecture where Srila Prabhupada was speaking on the topic of initiation, and he was looking around the room saying, initiation is for those who are very serious. The process of devotional service can be made available and can be taken up by anyone. And there are many who begin that process of devotional service and go away. As he was looking around the room, knowing that many people will They're here today and gone tomorrow. And that's not a loss because it's a permanent spiritual asset that one has earned or gained by engaging in devotional service, even the smallest amount. But initiation is for those who are, in Prabhupada's word, those who are serious. And serious means along the path of bhakti, there's obstacles, and the obstacles are mainly internal ones, not external ones, and continuing despite obstacles to proceed along the path. That requires mercy. It requires effort and mercy, both. When the topic of diksha was discussed by Srila Prabhupada, connected to this idea, tadvigyanartam sa gurum eva abhigachyat. Tadvigyanartam sa gurum eva abhigachyat. When one is inquisitive to know, to such a person, then they require a spiritual master. The specifically to know the Shreya Uttama, Jigyasu Shreya Uttama. Shreya Uttama. Shreya is distinguished from short-term gain or prayas. Shreyas is long-term gain or long-term benefit. And one who is inquisitive in Shreya Uttama, Tasmat Guru Prapadyeta Jigyasu Shreya Uttama Shabde Pare Chanishnatam Brahmani Upashamashrayam. That person is the one that needs spiritual master, needs shelter of a spiritual master. Now, we know from practical experience and we know from scripture, both, that those who are interested in spiritual life in a genuine way, there's many, many people not so interested. And they may be interested in a superficial way, but interested in a genuine way, it's very rare. And of those who are interested in spiritual life in a genuine way, to really want to reach the goal, that is, to know Krishna, to be connected with Krishna, in our relationship with Krishna, that's very rare. Manushanam sahasreshu Kaschid yatati siddhaye, you know the verse? Yatatam api siddhanam kaschin veti mam. Kaschin veti mam tatvataha. One who knows me in truth, very rare. So we're on the path, by the mercy of disciplic succession, to be introduced to the means that can take us to that Jigyasu Shreya Uttama, to know Krishna in truth. And Samatpani is indicating holding firewood in one's hand, Samatpani, going like Krishna and Sudama Brahman went to the forest on behalf of their spiritual master to gather wood for the yajna. It's just a short phrase meaning menial service of any kind. The qualification of the person when coming in contact with disciplic succession is humble service. In whatever the service is that's needed, it can be this, that, or the other thing, some service, an opportunity for service for the pleasure of Krishna, samatpani, shrotriyam brahmanishtam. This is the qualification of the guru. Shrotriyam, they've heard, and they're fixed in the understanding of the knowledge of that which they've heard. Shrotriyam brahmanishtam. It's in a very terse, compact description. the nature of spiritual master and disciple relationship and its functioning, rendering of service, receiving of transcendental knowledge, bringing one to the position of the shelter in Krishna. The real goal of life is that shelter in Krishna. Shelter of Krishna means being engaged in his loving service. So diksha marks the making that connection in a formal way. Like going back to Prabhupada's statement in this assembly that he was speaking at. Anyone can engage in devotional service. Anyone can chant Hare Krishna. And just by chanting Hare Krishna or taking Krishna Prasadam or even the smallest thing, devotional service has begun. Devotional service has begun. We're interested in not only having people begin devotional service, but we're interested, in addition, mercy goes to everyone, but the special mercy goes to those who want to go further and further and further, and diksha is a formalization of that commitment and acceptance. And this is a nice understanding that Bhaktisiddhanta taught. The essence of diksha is these two things, submission and acceptance. The submission is unto Krishna, and the acceptance is by Krishna. There are other personalities involved. The disciplic succession personalities are involved as links in the line of disciplic succession. But the submission is unto Krishna, and the deliverer is Krishna. At the time of initiation, when that submission unto Krishna is made, formalized, and accepted, then two things happen according to a nice verse from Rupa Goswami's writings. Knowledge is awakened by that process of submission and acceptance, and sins are eradicated. Now, the bhakti process itself is so powerful that it has the capacity to eliminate all reactions of one's past misdeeds. Bhakti process is very powerful, like that. The formalization of initiation is, it becomes official or recognized or established. The acceptance into Krishna's shelter and the release of one from past sinful reactions. It's a very merciful event and process. Bhakti is itself a merciful process, and submission through disciplic succession at the time of initiation is the culmination of that, or formalization of that. That's very important. It's one of the essential sanskaras in the sojourn of the soul, passing from birth until death. So somewhere in there, the process of taking formal shelter and being accepted is very important. Of all of them, it's the most important. The others are very valuable for elevation and purification, and they're meant to bring one to that position. Of course, initiation means, but very choice of the word, Prabhupada, English word that Prabhupada gave of initiation as diksha, means it's the beginning of something. Initiate something means you begin something. So it's a culmination point, a formalization point, but it's also further submission, further devotional service, further purification. Commonly, when Prabhupada would speak about initiation, he would place it in the bhajana kriya stage. There's Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya. First three in the 9 stages of bhakti. With some faith, Krishna sends some sadhus. With that sadhu sangha, one engages in devotional activity. And in that devotional activity, Prabhupada consistently would place seeking initiation, and then following that seeking initiation and becoming initiated comes more work, more the longer journey, the anartha nivritti journey, the eradication of the subtle things within, our lower qualities, the lower modes of nature, the influence of past tendencies, and so forth. The eradication of those things, anartha nivritti, to bring us to the stage of steady. So in between there's unsteady. So so all of what I'm saying here is there's further submission, further effort required. Our process of surrendering to Krishna is not just the event of initiation, it's ongoing. I just received a letter from somebody today that was initiated, I don't know, 30 years ago, something like that. And they just shared, they're maintaining their 16 rounds through, faithfully through all that period of time. And sometimes their health gets bad and it's difficult, but they somehow manage. And that's when persons take vows of initiation, they're not intending, at least most people, are not intending to violate that vow after some time. But statistics show us that it does happen. People take vows, different kinds, and then after some time there's slackening of that vow, or the slackening of submission. And when there's slackening of submission, then what happens? What happens is previous tendencies start to come in again. And so what do you do? Because we're in this unsteady stage, you can submit, and so it's an ongoing. Submission is something of the heart. It's not just what you do. It's something of the heart. Submission unto Krishna through disciplic succession. We've been discussing this about being eager for mercy. It's in Brahma's prayers. He's eager for Krishna's mercy. And he's not being eager for Krishna's mercy doesn't mean our submission slackens. Just please pick me up. But the submission and service continue even through those ups and downs, and the anartha nivritti stage, the challenges, the obstacles that arise largely from within. And if something is prompting from without, sure and certain there's something within that's prompting from something without, because otherwise we would sail along. Krishna, with full confidence that Krishna's protection is there. Just like his associates, they have obstacles, and they meet those obstacles. That's part of what we'll be discussing this weekend. Gratitude during difficult times, when passing through periods of difficulty. Feeling gratitude, that's the ultimate solution to life's problems has been given to you, or given to us. And recognizing that this short-term difficulty is exactly that. It tells us something about our own need for purification and the unpleasantness of this material world and those that don't have spiritual qualities. We long for being in the association of those with spiritual qualities, and we seek that association as far as possible. And continue with the process of bhakti, with faith. It's turbulent age, and the times we're passing through seem to be exceptionally turbulent. Maybe there's other times someone's going through another period of time, that looks more exceptionally turbulent than it does today. To me, it looks really turbulent. And how to stay strong through the midst of turbulence. And that's staying strong is feeling the shelter from the mercy that Krishna is extending and continuing with great enthusiasm and eagerness to follow and continue that process of taking shelter, feeling comforted and protected by Krishna. His protection is always going to be there for his devotee. The initiation means being accepted by Krishna, becoming part of Krishna's family. Achyuta Gotra. I think you all know what that means, right? Achyuta Gotra. Gotra. Gotra is a term that means the family in which you were born. And there's a line, and that's one's Gotra. So, traditionally in India, if you identify what your name is, what your father's name is, and the Gotra in which your father came, that's your family. It's your ancestry. The Pitri is the ancestors. And the originator of the ancestry is your Gotra. So by initiation, it's not like you throw away the body and the connection, but you connect instead with the Achyuta Gotra, Krishna's family. And therefore a name is given to indicate second birth, Dvija. Ja and Dvija, second birth. And so then a spiritual name is given to indicate the connection with Krishna. It's part of the diksha process. So the significance is being accepted by Krishna, and then comes a big responsibility. Once you're part of a family, you're representative of the family, and your character and conduct and everything reflects on the family. So you're not just an independent person. When you take initiation, you're representing the Achyuta Gotra, the Vaishnavas, all around. So it's a sober person understands what they're doing when they seek initiation or receive initiation, and conduct themselves accordingly. Oh, very good. Just remove the smoke detector. Good idea. Okay, so that's the little talk wanted to make. And just this evening, do we have Krishnarchana available? Yes. Could we have her speak in such a way we can hear her speak? I want Krishnarchana to speak something about Sri Devi.
Hare Krishna, are you ready, Mataji? Yes, okay, I'm putting you on now. Go ahead, Mataji.
Swami, I'm here.
Okay, yeah, sure. Krishna Mata, you can speak now.
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. Okay.
the telephone.
We can hear you very well.
We can hear you very well, Mataji.
Continue to speak.
I haven't said a word. I just want to know what Shri Swami would like from me.
I'd like you to speak something about this nice person who you've been guiding in Krishna consciousness, Sri Devi, before she takes her vows.
Okay, I couldn't hear perfectly. Sadly, I'm not in front of my iPad. I've just finished the art week in the temple, so I'm on my mobile phone.
Well,
And
you
I understand.
speak spontaneously from your heart, that's all.
Okay, thank you, Shri Swami. So, Sri Devi, I've come to know over a period of time. My first introduction to her was her extreme enthusiasm for a painting of Radha Krishna, and I felt an instant affinity to her because naturally anything to do with an artistic expression is very much close to my heart. And then over time, Kesha Kishore directed her to come and speak with me, and somehow there was an instant bonding. I have observed Sri Devi over the last many months, purifying her life in so many ways, being very attentive to eliminating anything that was not in the mode of goodness, and I've been very appreciative of how carefully she's and diligently applied herself to purifying everything from medicine to bought items from a grocery store. So I'm much appreciative, and just her genuine openness is very heartwarming to me personally, and I'm incredibly appreciative of the very nice way she's brought up her daughter. It's a young lady who's so delighted to participate in devotional activities. So those are some words I can say about Sri Devi.
Okay. How many years have you known each other?
Maharaj asked how many years we have known each other, Maharaj.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, it's not the transmission's not very good because I'm on the telephone. So I would say that it's now about 2 years.
You confirm, Sri Devi?
Yes.
About 2 years. Okay. Okay. So you can stand by because I want you to hear her vows and hear the name and everything, and then we're done. Then you can go back to your service. Okay? Okay, so obeisances.
Maharaj asked me to stay back, Mataji.
Okay. So I'm going to move to the YouTube so that I can watch.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Okay, fine.
Sure.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being perfect.
Sure.
Technology to the rescue in the midst of pandemic. What would we do? Long journey to get here.
Yes, please.
So your vows, how many rounds you chant every day?
Minimum 60 rounds.
Very good. And the 4 rules that you follow?
No intoxication, no gambling, no meat eating, no illicit sex.
Very good. And you'll make your best effort to carefully follow Prabhupada's teachings for the rest of your life, yes?
Yes, Maharaj.
Very good. The initiated name is Sri Padma Manjari Devi Dasi. Sri Padma Manjari is the name of one of Srimati Radharani's dear Manjari friends. And you're a servant of Sri Padma Manjari. So now we'll go to what? Brahma Samhita? Okay. Most of you have copies, yes? Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachit Ananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Chintamani Prakara Sadma Sukhalpa Vriksha Lakshavritesu Sarabir Adiparayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrahma Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Venum Kalvantam Aravinda Dalayakaksham Bharhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Alola Chandrakala Sadvana Malya Vankshi Ratnangadam Pranayakeli Kalavilasam Shamam Tribangalalitam Niyata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasya Sakalendriya Vrittimanti Pashyanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sar Ujvala Vigrahasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Advaitam Achutim Anadim Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabam Adurlabam Atma Bhaktao Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Pantastu Koti Shatavatsara Sampragamyo Vayoratapi Manasomani Pungavanam Sopyasti Advapada Sinya Vachincha Tatve Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ekopya Saurachayatam Jagadanda Kotim Yachaktirasti Jagadanda Chayaya Dantaha Andantarasta Paramanu Chayantarastam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yad Bhava Bhava Tadiyoma Najasta Taiva Samprapya Rupa Mahimashanayana Bhoshaha Suktairaryam Eva Nigama Pratataistavanti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Dasapati Bhavitabhis Tabirya Eva Nijarupataya Kalabhihi Goloka Eva Nivisatya Kilatma Bhoto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Premanjana Charita Bhakti Virochanena Santak Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achincha Gunasarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ramadi Murtusha Kalani Amena Tishtan Nanavatara Makaro Bhuvaneshu Kinto Krishnak Swayam Sambhava Paramak Pumanyo Namadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagadanta Koti Koti Shvashesha Vasutadi Vibhuti Bindam Tad Brahma Nishkalam Anantam Ashesha Bhutam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Maya Hiyasya Jagadanda Shatani Sute Trigunya Tadvishaya Veda Vatayamana Sattva-valambi Parasattvam Vishuddha Sattvam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Rasamataya Manakso Yat Praninam Paniparam Padatamupetya Leela Yatenu Bhavanani Jagat Yajasram Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Golokanani Nitadani Talecha Tasya Devi Maheshu Haridama Surteshu Teshu Te Te Prabhava Nichaya Vihitaschayena Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Shristi Stati Pranaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha Chaye Vajasya Bhuvanani Vibharti Durga Ichchanarupam Apiyasya Jatestate Sa Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Khiram Yatadati Vikara Vishesha Yoga Sanjayate Yahitatak Pratagasti Etaho Yaksham Bhutam Ipamita Samipaiti Karyad Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Deepachar Eva Hidasham Tanam Abhyupetya Deepayate Vivita Hetu Samana Dharma Yasthadrageva Hicha Vishnu Taya Vibhati Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yatkarana Bhajale Bhajati Sma Yoga Nidramananta Jagadanda Saroma Kopaha Adhara Shakti Mavalambya Param Swamurtim Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasyaika Nishvisita Kalamatavalamya Jivanti Loma Vinaja Jagadandanataha Vishnur Mahansi Hayasya Kalami Shesho Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Bhasvanya Tankshma Shakaleshu Najesha Teja Sriyam Kiyat Pakariyat Tadvitadvadatra Brahmaya Isha Jagadanda Vidhana Karta Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yat Pada Pallava Yugam Vidadhaya Kumbha Dvandve Pranama Samaye Saganadi Rajaha Vinhant Vinhantam Anamasya Jagatrayasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Agnir Mahi Gagar Ambo Marushu Shasha Kalas Tatatma Manasita Jagatrayani Yasmad Bhavanti Vibhavanti Vishanti Yancha Vitami Yakshakshir Esa Savita Sakala Grahanam Raja Samasta Suramurti Rashesha Teja Yasyagya Pramiti Sambrita Kala Chakro Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Dharmo Tapapa Nichaya Shrutayasta Pangsi Brahmadi Kita Patagava Dayasta Jivaha Yadatramak Vikapaprakata Prabhava Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yastvindra Gautam Atavindra Mahosva Karma Bhandanuropa Palabhajana Atanoti Karmani Nirdihita Kintu Cha Bhakti Bhajam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yam Krodha Kama Sahaja Pranayadi Biti Vatsalya Moho Guru Gaurava Sevya Bhavai Santyantya Tasya Shadrishim Tanam Aparete Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Shriya Kanta Kanta Parama Purusha Kalpa Taravo Drama Bhumis Chintamani Ganamai Tayam Amritam Katha Ganam Natyam Ganamam Api Vangshi Priyasaki Chidanandam Jyoti Paramapitad Asvadyam Apicha Savyatrakshadabhi Shavati Surabhibhyasya Sumahan Nimeshad Yakyava Vrajati Nahi Yatrapi Samaya Vajay Shveta Dvipam Tamaham Iha Golokam Nityam Vidantaste Shanta Shiti Viralachara Katipaye Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. Achman?
So you can remove the mask for now. So we will do Achman. So you can take a little bit of water. You can And as we chant the mantra, you can look at the water. Om
Om
Apavitro
Apavitro
Pavitro Va
Pavitro Va
Sarvavastam
Sarvavastam
Gatopi Va
Gatopi Va
Yatsmare
Yatsmaret
Pundarikaksham
Pundrikaksham
Shabhaya
Sabhaya
Abhyantara
Abhyantara
Sushihi
Suchihi
Shri Vishnu
Shri Vishnu
Shri Vishnu
Shri Vishnu
Shri Vishnu
Shri Vishnu
Om Keshavaya Namaha. The last one. We'll do 2 more times. Om
Om
Apavitro
Apavitro
Pavitro Va
Pavitro Va
Sarvavastam
Sarvavastam
Gatopi Va
Gatopi Va
Yasmare
Yasmaret
Pundarikaksham
Pundrikaksham
Shabhaya
Sabhaya
Abhyantara
Abhyantara
Sushihi
Suchihi
Shri Vishnu
Shri Vishnu
Shri Vishnu
Shri Vishnu
Shri Vishnu
Shri Vishnu
Om Narayana. One last time. Om
Om
Apavitro
Apavitro
Pavitro Va
Pavitro Va
Sarvavastam
Sabhavastam
Gatopi Va
Gatopi Va
Yasmare
Yasmaret
Pundarikaksham
Pundrikaksham
Shabhaya
Sabhaya
Abhyantara
Abhyantara
Sushihi
Suchihi
Shri Vishnu
Shri Vishnu
Shri Vishnu
Shri Vishnu
Shri Vishnu
Shri Vishnu
Om Madhavaya.
Om Madhavaya Namaha.
So when we do the now we can put the like mask back. Because of COVID we are doing it slightly differently. So whenever we say swaha, please use these 3 like fingers. Take a little bit of guidance, and then the bowl which is next to you, you can put it there. At the end, when we are doing the Purnahuti, like we are going to be putting all of them at the same time. So now we can put the mask like that.
The first mantra you do.
Yes. Nama Om
Om
Vishnupadaya
Vishnupadaya
Krishnaprishtaya
Krishnaprishtaya
Bhutale
Bhutale
Srimate
Srimate
Romapada Swamin Iti Namine Swaha Swaha Swaha
Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Swaha 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 Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Swaha 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 Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Anditam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanditangscha Swaha 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 Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Swaha 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 Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Dayataya Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayane Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jvala Premadhya Shri Rupa Nuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Shri Rupa Nuga Virodha Apa Siddhanta Dvanta Harine Swaha 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 Namo Gaurakishoraya Sakshad Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padambu Jayate Namaha Swaha 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 Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchitanandanamine Gaura Shakti Sarupaya Rupa Nugavarayate Swaha 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 Gaura Virbhava Bhumeshwam Nirdeshta Sajjana Priyaha Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathaya Te Namaha Swaha 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 Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhobhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Swaha 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 Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gurutvashe Namaha Swaha 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 Panchak Tattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Swaha 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 Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Swaha 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 Jayatam Surato Pangor Mama Mandamater Gati Matsarvasvapadam Bhojao Radha Madana Mohanao Swaha 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 Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadramadaha Srimad Ratnagara Singhasanastau Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Deva Preshtalibhi Sevyamano Smarami Saha Swaha Swaha Shriman Rasa Rasa Rambhi Vangshi Vata Tata Stitaha Karshan Venuswanayar Gopir Gopinatha Shri Eshtanaha Swaha 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 Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Swaha 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 Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Swaha 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Swaha 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 Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Swaha 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Srila Prabhupada ki Gaur Premanandi.